Brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes, salute! And if you alive and breathing, as I always like to say, we are back to conquer another day or even another year. Every day can be a triumph. Just all depends on what one holds in the pit of that soul, because that's where the battle begins. That's where that war is won. That's where that battle was fought. Man, if you can conquer that within that we always talk about, you can conquer anything. Because what we conquer on the inside, man, outside will be a breeze, because we'll analyze everything. We'll see things when they're coming. And most of all, we will begin to take this walk serious, and know the energy we put out is you fill in the blank. You already know. And I honor thy ancestors, those bodies who lay to rest, but the spirit is still alive and well in many great brothers and sisters out here, as well as in our families, in our children. You just have to be in that place, in that space to see it. So I honor thy ancestors. They got those who are really paying attention to the things and the ways of the world. I thank that great ancestors who gave their lives and fought hard through tooth and nail before social media to get a lot of us in the place and the state that we're in. I'm talking about those that take this walk serious, because we are connected to loved ones, and thank those that's been listening to a brother. And I have to say, this is another edition of EBX Discussion, and I got to place that gold over us. May all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat because I want to get out what I got to say. And like I say, thank those that's been riding along with the brother. We are leaders and teachers. We are not followers. Remember, we're going to change that narrative and stay connected to those, because we have to, I always say we're always going to be attached to humans, people in our family, brothers and sisters we care about in our circle. So that's what I'm getting to. Just place that protection over them. Call it down, Just don't think of it as weird or nothing like that. Just do it. Be strong within thy spirit. A righteous spirit, though. Got to be careful of those spirits. That's something I'm learning. I have learned from teachers, Got to make sure it's a righteous spirit. That's real talk, because energy and, spirits of different things, person, place, or thing, is nothing to play with. Real talk, especially when you have experienced it. And before I go on, I had posted this podcast earlier, but for some reason it was a copyright thing in it, so I had to take it down. And I wanted to salute the sister that commented on that podcast. Salute, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And anybody else that comment on my music and, and podcasts and stuff me and my son do, and things I show with my family, and, just a little bit of my life I'm sharing. I appreciate those who interact, even if you view and you don't, I still appreciate you, whether it's a few minutes or the whole podcast or video. I'm always appreciative, man, because can't take none of this stuff with us. So we have to appreciate the tools that Great Divine gives us, because the Great Divine has a say overall. And that's what I like to call a centering mechanism. And everybody has to have a centering mechanism. I don't know who we are. I don't care. Excuse me. I don't care. Well, we better know who we are, right? But I don't care who we are. You have to have a centering mechanism, especially in these times. And of course, in the world. And you already know social media. Because when you be on this walk for a while and you studied oneself and you kind of pretty much paid attention and you're pretty accountable, and you're just trying to be the best of yourself, that's brother or sister, and you're just trying to live a right life. And I always kind of throw it in there, because it is nice to be connected to that great divine, that higher force, spiritually, in a righteous way. But I always kind of like, though, because I don't want to come off like I'm being like it's this big cosmic thing. You have to at least start off with a good heart. And I think a lot of things will fall into place with that. And because if you learn nothing else, some great teachers out here, and if you lived on this planet for a while, this for my young brothers and sisters, or those that may be in the baby steps of maybe trying to find yourself, or know who you are, or why you think the way you think, because I've been through the process as well as many of us have. It's like I say, it can be a weird transformation, but it can be a glorious transformation if you stick with it, though. And, and study our emotions, and man, know that we can be intelligent. It's in there. We just got to search in and find it. And I'm saying all these things because of the title. That's why I came to this title. I call down protection from our great divine for ourselves, from ourselves, especially from ourselves, because we've heard so many of us say that can be the worst beast, the worst enemy. That one little thing that we can do sometimes off of a wrong impulse can fuck up our whole life. You know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I know we hear that a lot, but when you live it, you will see. And once you have experienced that and you got it deep, embedded deep in your soul, because once we right within, guess what? We can teach others. And when we finally got that divine confidence, though, you know, sometimes we have to, well, we don't have to worry about testing ourselves. I say test ourselves in different things just to test our strength in different areas, but we don't have to worry about that, because when I've said this before, but when we are influencing someone, that great divine is not going to play with us. You can try to override things and act like you don't see different issues that whether we have to deal with in the physical life or with oneself, it doesn't matter. Great divine, whether you show it in front of others, that great divine is going to put a mirror right in front of you, because the higher force is not a fad, it's not a style, it's a way of life. And when you experience it, and I'm sure a lot of great brothers and sisters that have been doing this for a long time have seen so many wild moments. We've seen so many wild moments, it's become normal, because when you're doing righteous things naturally, you're not paying attention to how many people are listening and, you know, how many hits you can get. You just enjoy the journey, because that's when you have the most fun. When you enjoy the journey and you begin to love what you do. And that's whatever it is, because everybody's walk is different. And you do start feeling that protection for oneself. You do, especially when you see results. That's another goal that I strive for, and many of us strive for. Like I say, you know, this is nothing that a lot of us don't know. I'm just reconfirming what a lot of us feel on a day-to-day basis, especially those that's connected. I mean, really connected to that divine spirit. Like I say, it's not a fad. It's not a style. It's a way of life, you know, and it can help you in many areas when you really seek out solutions in situations. I don't care what it is or how challenging it look. You know, you get off to yourself. If things seem like they become or might seem overwhelming, you get off to yourself and you call down that protection from that great divine. What I say, for ourselves, from ourselves, and that's our family, our children, those in our circle, brothers and sisters we have met along the way, great friends that played a part in our growth. Man, if you are true spiritual brother or sister, righteous spiritual brother or sister, you will never forget those that helped you or things that, you know, that catapulted you to get you to the position that you are. Those that are there at the success state of mind. Because I will say, you know, again and again, that becoming self-aware and knowledgeable and, you know, just keeping your mind right, because there's so many things that could, man, catch your ass off guard. But if you're able to have these 6 things, as I talked about, mind, body, and soul, see, think, and see, hear, and feel, and psyche, 7 things. If you can control those, mind, body, and soul, and see, hear, and feel, and your psyche, man, if you got those down packed and you got those where nothing can penetrate that, you tell me what can stop us or stop you or stop me. Man, I'm telling you, any of us. But we have to study in these different areas, you know, read up on stuff, you know, don't be afraid to, if it's something we don't know, look it up. You know, we got to be humble in some areas. I'm not talking about a soft thing, just because that's how we learn. You know, when we listen, we learn. And as I said before, the most impactful teacher out here, brother or sister, those are the ones that have that ear. They know, they have a good ear. They know what to listen to. You know, that great divine gives us these gifts, but unfortunately, some use their gifts or their powers for bad. You know, and it's no getting away around that. Once you step into that toxic world and you make a choice to be toxic, especially if you're aware of it and you're a healthy human being, and you choose to be toxic, then you don't be surprised when wrong things come back to you, because everybody knows about karma. It's more than just a word. So don't be surprised what you put into nature. If you put in toxic things, because nature is about purity. Nature is pure. So if you're putting in toxic things into nature, nature is going to spew it out. It's going to spit it out, because nature and everything of nature, universe, great divine, father time, is of a divine order and of purity. That's why that force connects with a lot of us. Once once that force knows that child or that adult, brother or sister, has potential, it's going to connect to that spirit, and it's going to show us things. And but that great divine couldn't show us all its power. That force couldn't show us all of it, because we wouldn't be able to handle it. So that's why it placed different things in our lives to learn. So we will appreciate the power, and the more we appreciate that these gifts we have, and the knowledge we're sharing and changing others' lives, when we appreciate things like that and become humble about it, not in a soft way, we gain momentum, especially in that spiritual world. When you really take it serious, I don't mean to sound all cosmic, but it's just beautiful, man, when you're seeking righteousness, you're seeking good knowledge, and you want to see the right in others and in ourselves, because you feel good within, no matter what state you're in, you'll look for a solution. That's real talk, because that's what life should be about. Solutions, results, and that's what we do all this for. That's what we do this teaching for. And I want to say again, I call down protection for ourselves, from ourselves. That's over our children, my biological children, my spiritually adopted children, their mothers, the fathers out there, brothers and sisters that's been riding along with me. Like I said, salute to the sister that commented on the podcast I uploaded earlier. I had to take it down, like I said, because it was some kind of copyright. I don't know what it was, but I felt this needed to be shared, and I thought it was important. And I want to bring up again, find a centering mechanism. That's why I do podcasts like this. Like I said, looking out over the world and just think, because when this mind is quiet, that's when you can figure out things when you're heading into a challenge. And it's not always nothing negative. Even if it's something positive, I always like to say, because it can be something that's positive, but very, very important in your life. Whatever that is, just got to play out different scenarios, man. So we think of ways to make our life, triumph in different areas. We'll be paying attention. Man, when you got that third eye focus, man, it's wonderful, man. It's beautiful when we can finally breathe and just know that great things will come. Because why? Because we have that divine confidence, and we have that divine evidence of great things and seeds that we have planted. So just keep planting them seeds, brothers and sisters, and keep protection in each other's heart for each other in these weird times. I don't even know what to call it. And I also wanted to talk about how a lot of us resonate, and now I know we have to watch those that are false and scamming and stuff like that. But if you're in a right circle, and you are connected to the right brothers and sisters, you'll see that we resonate. You'll know who you resonate with, and you'll know who you don't. But really have to pick through this social media world like a fine-tooth comb, But like I say, you do the right thing, won't be no shame. So just keep yourself in the right circle. What do we indulge in? What do we see, hear, and feel coming into our mind, body, and soul? How often do we pay attention and study our psyche and not just free falling, walking through life, Because if you want to be powerful in this life, you're going to have to be analytical. And that's more than just sounding smooth, You have to pay attention, especially in these times, Like I say, energy, life, this social media, it can be very powerful if you're not aware of certain things. So treat social media like the world. We don't be in the world, we be of it. We don't be in social media, we be of it. Because when you're on the outside of it, you can see a lot of things. And sometimes you can see things about to happen to individuals before they can even see it for themselves. So that's why a great divine placed a lot of great brothers and sisters out here, because they are out here. But you got to be in them circles, And again, I call down protection for ourselves, from ourselves, so we don't ever become our own worst enemy. And that's for all of us in our circles, whether in the world, online, our families, our children, Just want us to be protected, be happy, and be strong, and get the things we need from that great divine in this life. Mother Nature, universe, and the ones will come, righteous ones. So that's my thought. And like I said, I uploaded this before, but I felt this should be shared. I had to get it out there because the great divine doesn't give us gifts. We keep it to ourselves for a little while, cultivate it, but it must be shared. Because why do we share good thoughts and good energy and teaching and knowledge? Because we never know who lives we're changing or maybe even saving. And I truly do know this because I have ran across brothers and sisters that changed the course of my life in a good way. You know, I've had negative things that happened that I learned from too, but I'll never forget those that played a part in making me know my true value in oneself and that I can share it to others because it's beautiful. And that's what we're supposed to do. Share this energy to each other and keep this realm strong. So protection over all of us. And thank those that's been listening. Current subscribers, new subscribers. Salute. May that great divine bliss or bless you in your life. Reachers and teachers, the real ones, brothers and sisters, even those I have learned from. May that great divine protect you and keep forging forward. And I honor my family. I honor your family. I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you please keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. Salute.